I love to put things in perspective. Now, in my line of work, I get to test drive a lot of cars, from the $20,000 to the $500,000. It's only ever happened maybe once, maybe twice, car. But the point of that is, all cars today available for sale in 2021 are exceptional. All of them. There are some better ones and some worse ones, but the point is, they're all extraordinary in numerous ways. The thing is that it took the automobile industry decades, a century even, in order to reach this point when it comes to internal combustion engine vehicles. Now, the perspective part is that when I get to spend a week with a vehicle like this new 2022 Chevrolet Bolt, the thought crosses my mind where this is as bad as EVs are going to get. Because when we think about the evolution of the automobile, where we were just 25 years ago and where we are today, imagine where EVs are going to be in 5, 10, or 25 years. So this is as bad as they're going to get. And the fact of the matter is that cars like the Chevrolet Bolt, like the Volkswagen ID.4, like the Ford Mustang Mach-E, are, in no uncertain terms, impressive and exceptional vehicles. It kind of boggles the mind to think that they're going to get that much better. And quite frankly, when it comes to the ease of adoption of an EV, few rival the Chevrolet Bolt. I mean, you can almost literally move from your 5-7-year-old Chevrolet Cruze and purchase one of these and go on as though nothing has changed. Yes, there's a lot more technology on board, and you do have to remember to charge it once in a while if you want to get around. But that's one of the beauties about most EVs, and probably one of the greatest assets to this Chevrolet Bolt. What we're going to do is do the usual walk around just to point out a few things that have changed, because this is the facelifted Chevrolet Bolt, which was introduced, the first generation, back in 2017. And then we'll take it for a spin and rediscover how easy to live with and to drive this car actually is. All right, so let's just jump right into design. The interesting thing about the revamped 22 Bolt is that GM did kind of the opposite of what Nissan did. When the Bolt was first introduced in 2017, they did something that was a little bit more conventional, not entirely eye-catching, but still unique enough, whereas Nissan just brought out the Leaf back in 2011, and it looked like nothing else on the road. But so GM did something different. I mean, they did update the rear end. You can see the cutout of the hatch is essentially identical to what it was before, and the taillights are new, but that still looks very normal, if you will. In the front, well, that's where the Chevy and GM designers went a little bit more wild with the headlights and the way they're cut out with the daytime running lights and all of that into the bumper. Look, it's different. It's not offensive at all. It actually kind of looks good. I have really nothing negative to say about that. What I meant about Nissan is when they introduced the second generation Leaf, well, they went all conventional on it. Anyhow, to each their own, I suppose. Okay, so pricing information. In the US, a 1LT is $31,000 flat. If you want leather, for example, you got to go to a 2LT, and it is $34,200. In Canada, brilliantly, as far as I'm concerned, there's only one version, and that's the LT. And it is $38,198. For that kind of money, you get Chevy Infotainment 3, a 10.2-inch display. I'll show that to you, touchscreen display. I'll show it to you in a few moments. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, heated front seats and steering wheel, and one pedal drive. And that's it. My actual tester right here is obviously an LT. It has just two accessory options, if you will. There's the Ghost Gray color, which is a $495 supplement. It's a lovely color, I suppose. I'm sick of gray, but I have to get over that, I suppose. And the black inserts in the wheels. 17-inch wheels are standard for $395. So essentially, you're looking at a $39,088 22 Chevrolet Bolt EV. In fact, the base Bolt is the most affordable pre-incentives anywhere in Canada. Now, the interesting thing is that Nissan did announce just recently that they were slashing prices on the Leaf, making it now in the US the least expensive EV. Now we'll have to see if Nissan Canada decides to follow suit. It'll be interesting. Yeah, I suppose we'll just go around here. Oh, obviously now I've opened the hatch. But just to give you an idea overall lengthwise, well, you can still see the bumper. This car, it's not big at all. Like if you were to park, say, a Toyota Corolla beside it, a Corolla is almost 50 centimeters longer overall than the Bolt. Dimensions haven't really changed, but just to give you an idea, it's a very compact car. However, 470 liters of trunk space. So I mean, if you can imagine that, that's actually quite deep, very useful. And I do like this adjustable parcel shelf that doubles as a, like a hideaway area. No power hatch, but hey, who cares? Now, despite the size and the fact that I just said it's kind of tight, I mean, the back seat is really, really roomy. I mean, look, that's my driving position. There's your new 10.2-inch screen. Leg room is immense. Headroom is actually, oops, apologies for the hand, not that bad considering it's a smaller car. And one of the things I really like about it is the way the door is cut out. Ingress and egress, very, very easy. Look, fit, finish, materials, everything you're looking at is very, very good for the price. Let's just slide in on board. Oh, the seats themselves, really, really soft and actually quite comfortable, I have to admit. Okay, so we'll start her up. Oh, there it is. We'll just might as well go right into it. Oh. I don't care what people think, but I love knobs. See how quickly that was as opposed to waiting for the screen to load up and then start tapping away. Anyway, 10.2-inch screen. It's actually quite easy to navigate. Everything about it is straightforward. Chevy Infotainment 3 is actually a very user-friendly layout. You have all kinds of displays and bits of information that you can show up here. Your driving habits, your average consumption, your power flow while you're driving. Here's your display here for your speed and everything else. There's my state of charge. I actually have had the car for almost 5 days and I haven't charged it yet from the posted 417 kilometer average range. I mean, the center console has changed. The HVAC controls are superb. Transmission buttons are fine. This is the one pedal drive button, and that is absolutely brilliant. It's almost as though GM went out of their way to give you extra, and I kind of like that. Sometimes too many drive modes is not good, but you got the one pedal drive, and then you have the paddle here, which like a manual engine braking paddle. It's not a downshift, it's not an upshift, it just helps you brake even more if you're not in one pedal drive mode, which I have been almost exclusively since I picked up the car. The cabin is very airy, and look, those windows change absolutely everything. You can almost see like your wheel. You can almost imagine where your wheel is when you're going around a curb. And visibility is brilliant. This is one of the reasons why this car is so easy to live with. Anyhow, I think it's time to go for a drive right now, so I suppose we'll find a drive. So as far as the mechanicals of the 2022 Bolt EV, well, just about nothing has changed. There have been battery revisions because, as we know, there are some serious battery problems with the 17 to 19 Bolt. In fact, GM is just about, if I'm not mistaken, to announce a massive recall for upwards of 70,000 Bolts, which will cost them something like $800 million to address and fix. But that doesn't apply to the 2021 and 22 Chevrolet Bolt, thankfully. So what does that mean? Well, you have a 65 kilowatt hour unit that, when fully charged, will give you a rated 417 kilometers of range, which oops, there goes my tripod, which means that for the average user, if not the very vast majority of users, is more than enough range to go about your business on a weekly basis. I mean, you may need to charge it twice during the week, maybe only once. You can't really ask for more than that when you consider real world use. In fact, I mean, 417 is the APA estimated range, or 259 miles. When I picked it up, it wasn't full, unfortunately. But even so, I mean, I think the indicated range was over 435 kilometers, which again, I mean, what more can you really possibly want? Charging at home, obviously on a level 2 charger, it'll be done overnight in less than an overnight stint, you know, from a 5 to 100% even. But if you are out on the road, a DC fast charger will get you about 160 kilometers per half hour of charge, which is within the norm. As far as the actual drive is concerned, this car is comfortable, cool. It's wonderful. There's a suppleness in the chassis, and it's a semi-independent rear suspension, fully independent in the front. Tires with actual sidewalls. So the ride quality mimics the serenity that surrounds occupants in the cabin. It's fabulous. I just love how cushy this car is. And it's not floaty by any stretch of the imagination. And the one pedal drive, thanks to the permanent magnet motor, 150 horsepower, 266 pound-feet of torque and it's just so easy and intuitive. Once you press on the button, you almost immediately figure that, well, you feel that based on the speed that you're going and how quickly you're getting close to, say, the stop sign or the traffic light, when you have to release. Or even just modulate the pedal. I mean, look at that. Perfection, right on the line. If, for example, you don't want to use the one pedal drive mode with maximum engine regenerative braking, you can always use, as I showed you, the paddle, which gives you the same amount of, or same level of aggressiveness of engine re-brake, or nearly. This is not quite as intuitive, but again, 5 minutes of driving and you'll have it all figured out. Let's see if I still have it figured out. See, I came up a little short this time. It's just superb. And the thing is, as with all EVs, 266 pound-feet of torque in a car like this, it's quite impressive. I mean, I won't launch it because I'm going to draw some lines on the ground, but it'll do 0 to 96 kilometers an hour in only 6.5 seconds. You do not need anything more than that, again, in the real life. I'm going to go back into my one pedal drive because I love it so much. Look, as is, I've always liked the Bolt. Of course, I've criticized it with the battery issues, but even so, there's an ease of use that comes with it. There's a certain level of refinement that, or what's the word? You know, it's very together, more so than the Leaf. I find very much on par with, for example, the X e-Golf. But if you are in the market for your first EV or an EV, and your budget is a little bit limited, because obviously 38 grand is still a considerable amount of money for most, I don't see why this wouldn't be it. And as I've said, right, this is as bad as they're gonna get, because with GM's Ultium battery technology, which will trickle down from Cadillac, you know, down, eventually these things are gonna be unbelievable. But as is, right now, for the 2022 model year, I am a big fan of the Chevrolet Bolt EV.